God punish you. God punish you.
My name is Mrs. Ngozi Awo. I am from Akano Ohafia in Abia State in Nigeria. And my parents are the King of Akano, Ezogo Okoroke Ole, and Mrs. Rose Ugeze Okoroke Ole from Akano Ohafia. Actually, I do not live here. I don't live here. I live in New York. And I've worked in hospital, but right now I'm teaching in New York. I'm helping to mold lives, young lives. So that's what I do. So I traveled from New York to visit my parents in Akano, Ohafia. I have imbibed the philosophy that says, think of what you would do for a country, not what a country can do for you. So while in my home in New York, I have always had a burden of how to transform life, how to help the younger ones, especially the youths. What can I do to help my community? So that has been a burden in my heart. I even cut off my job. We were supposed to vacate in June, but I had a very big burden to come home to see my community, to see my parents, and to see what I can do to help lives in my community. So I kind of left my home rushed down because of that burden in my heart. I could no longer enjoy my stay in New York. I came home to see how much impact I can make in the lives, especially the youths and the younger ones. When I came back, because my father is the king of the village, so I'm a princess. And so when I came back, the burden I had, I was met with the youths. There's hundreds of youths roaming in the village with no work. So I embraced them, and I even started a school for adult education, and I started a school to help out in any way. So since I came back in June 26th. I've been very busy trying to put things, as the princess, the burden was there to see what can I do to help out the life of my people. So that has been paramount in my mind and in my heart. My brother Franklin Jr. Foundation has been having medical missions, going home with tons of drugs to help out. Drug, I mean medication, to help out the less privileged. And Franklin Jr. Foundation, which is my brother, Franklin Chidi Ole, has been out forefront trying to sort things out in the village. He has also been giving out clothing materials. He has been giving out shoes, and almost everyone in my village, Akano Ohafia, wears something from Franklin in one way or the other. And as I got home, we've been feeding a lot of people, because when you talk about the poverty line, it is just too much back home. So I noticed the trend that the rich ones will rather prefer, instead of helping the poor ones, they'll prefer them to pick crops at their table. And they prefer them to use them, giving them 1,000, 2,000 just to carry out a dirty deal for them. So those who've been trying to help the young ones out. So my family, the whole of my family, we are all, passionate in helping out the less privileged in my community. And even as I speak, Franklin is bringing in a container load of medical equipment, because he wants to set up a free clinic for the community. So the whole of my family, all we think about is what can we do to help this community, to bring development in our community. So we do not have any known hindrances or enemies or something like that until now. prior to my coming, I was actually not supposed to come the day I came, but I could no longer, I just lost my peace. Whenever I kind of sleep, I would go back home. I saw a lot of things, but that wasn't just enough because some of the dreams was terrible, was terrifying, but I did not understand it. I did not understand the dream, but the burden became heavier. My heart became so heavy that I could no longer contain myself in New York. I just had that urgency in my spirit that, that I'm needed. There is a call that I must answer. Maybe I take it being a princess, my bloodline, there is that duty that called. And that duty called, it called in my spirit, called in my soul. I could no longer take it. I had to rush out of my house to come to my village, to find out why God has laid it so much a burden in my heart, to come home and see what it was. Until I got there, now I knew why I had to come, as at that time I went. So when I got to my village, I went straight. I was supposed to stop by in Lagos, but I went straight from airport down to my village. I went there on a Friday. Then I understood that we had a new DPO in my area, DPO, Divisional Police Officer. A new one was posted in my area. So I decided to pay him a courtesy call to say, I'm here, and welcome to the Ohafia police post. So when I got there, I saw an arrangement that was going on. The arrangement was that the youth, the very youth that I was coming to help out, they were trying to arrange some helios to someone requested that 2 helios be given to them so that they want to clean the village of drug and all that. So being that the moment I came in, the youth embraced me and they were telling me some of their problems, that they've been encountering police harassment, army coming in, because in my community in Ohafia, they have army barracks. So the youths were telling me their problems. So when I got there, I now explained to the DPO that there is no problem in my community that needed to be cleaned up, that I was able to foil that attempt. Even while there, they got a test again. He showed me the test and said, this is the test from your community showing that this youth is about to burn down the village. And I stopped it. I said, no, this is not just an attempt to intimidate the poor and all that. So I stepped in. I think that was one of the reasons why I thought in my mind why I was pushed out of my comfortable home in New York to come to Akano Ohafia. Seeing the rate of unemployment, and I'm into health education, I'm on to empowering women. So when I came back, I started the Women Forum. I started a women where we talk about health and all that. Then I have a school. I empowered my school. We started building some structures in my school to make sure that when the school resumes this September, that the kids will be, my school is almost free, that the kids will be absorbed, more kids will be absorbed in the school. Then my adult education, I went home, I'm having some materials being sent so that sector will be, empowered. Also, I have a powerful water that you don't need any medication. It's called Kangen water. So I had in mind of getting it in any form so that these youths will start making money using Kangen machine or using Kangen water. So I had so much planned, and then we were also supposed to open our clinic, our free clinic that Franklin Junior Foundation was going to open. So I was supposed to be there to educate people on how to get healthy without, going to pay so much money in the hospital. So we had a lot of programs planned out for me to, educate people or to carry out. I came in and I saw the village was really quite thirsty. They needed fresh air. So I met with the men. I was always 24/7. I was always in meetings. I couldn't even attend most of the services like church because I was always meeting one complaint or the other. So they saw me as God sent into the community. But I'm still going to talk about a little fraction of people that I will talk about it when the time comes. But in the meantime, they were insignificant. They were irrelevant to me because I was seeing too many people already coming. I met with the women group and I addressed them and we strategized. We had plans. And then I met with the men. The men, they call them the Kuroria group. I was always in their meeting, even though most of the times I was the only woman there. So we were talking and we were having good time. Then I met with the youths. I was always giving the youth some useful advice and trying to find way out of their problems. And I was picking them one-on-one, talking to them. After I addressed them as a group, I spoke with them one-on-one to find out what really they want to do and what they think about tomorrow. So I was too busy when I was there. So I never noticed the little fraction that brought this seminar, this conference. Being that I have spent most of my adult life in US, I was already overwhelmed with the response I saw because the high level of respect. And imagine a situation where someone could wake up in the morning, coming to greet the king and say, "King, is there anything I can do for you?" And hearing people saying, "This shirt I'm wearing, I wouldn't have been wearing it but for Franklin Junior Foundation that gave it to me. I am so grateful." And seeing people coming in with food stuff from their farm to say, "We are so grateful for this family." So I was kind of overwhelmed with the level of respect. I cannot go by myself to anywhere. I have somebody say, "Please, Princess, when you are going, I am going with you. You are not from this area, so I'll walk with you." I was always in company of people. So that showed me that the family of the community accepted us and we love each other. So I didn't know about the fraction that was not in tune. I think prior to my coming, they already used to that being in the palace. You were used to seeing people doing all that. So the reaction was everyone in my home is used to service. My little sister Alice goes home. Alisa goes home. She's out there to serve, to help. In my family, we have big pots. We don't cook little pots. We make big pots, and there are people mouths to feed, and we take good time. We have good time. So everyone born in my home, in that king royal family, is out. We are all just serving. So there was no negative reaction or oh, these people are bothering us. No, we give out all that we have. Yeah, it was on the last day of August. Some women, it was arranged, it was staged, that the women were looking for a said drum. And my community is going to about 300 years, something like that. It's an ancient drum. And when we heard that, I was like, "What is the drum like?" They described it. And they said, the women said they're looking for it. And then they went to a man's house, who is the custodian of the drum. And the man said to them, "The drum is not missing, it's still where it is." But because it was staged, the women ignored that. And they went, they broke down the man's house. They broke down about 3 houses. They said they are looking for drum. When they broke the houses, I was like, "Are you guys sure what is the drum like?" They said it's still there where it's supposed to be. I personally went to where the drum is, and I saw the drum, And I took pictures of the drum. I put it on my Facebook page. And at this time, the women ran out of our village. And on their way, before they left the village, someone had already made a black t-shirt for them. So they wore the black t-shirt and their George wrapper. George wrapper, this is the traditional wrapper we wear most of the time. They wore the George wrapper and they left the village. And when they went out, they said, we are looking for a drum. And then the place they went to is called Elu. Elu is like, they call it Achichi Ohafia or Achichi Elu. It's like the capital or the head where the king of the whole 25 villages in Ohafia lives. So they went to report to the guy that, oh, we are looking for our drum. The women drum is missing. This Eze, so-called the king, sent some emissaries, sent some men to come and find out if actually this drum is missing. And the men came and they narrated to them that they told them the drum is still in this place, and they took the people that saw the drum and they left. So this was like, we were like laughing. How can you look for something that is not in the first place missing? So that was the whole thing. Then a little while, some women came again and they said, give us the drum. I am not part of the drum. I was just an observer. I was curious because in the first time, I don't even know what the drum looks like. So when I heard that, give us the drum, I was curious. I said, let's see, what is this drum like? And then they said, oh no, this drum does not live where it is. It's always, it has been there for 300 years. Nobody has ever moved it. And then the women said, oh, we understood now because they gave us wrong information that this drum was missing. And in the meantime, these women wearing black were still outside the village. So when they said they went back, they explained to them that the drum is not missing. It's still where it is. So on that same fateful day, on the first Saturday, we were all waiting. When I had already forgotten about the drum and whatever, because I don't know anything about drum. I have nothing to do with it. So when I was standing, I heard they are coming, they are coming. We were like, who is coming? I don't understand. I was standing with a lady, everybody running. So I did not quite see what was happening, but I went into my living room. So it was when I was in the parlor that I overheard. I now turned, I saw guys with gun, cutlass, all running. I was like, and I heard when they said, where is the king? We are going to finish him. We were saying we are going to kill him. I said, oh no, what happened? Who are you? What? Before I said they were, breaking down the whole house, the whole parlor, breaking everything down, smashing and saying, chanting war song, where is the king? We are sent to go and kill him. So I had my phone on the couch. So my iPhone 8 Plus was on my couch. So it was the phone, and while they were doing that, I was praying, and then they grabbed my phone. That phone, they became interested, and when they grabbed that phone, they grabbed me along with them. So on coming outside, I saw my big brother, Prince Okoro Ole. I saw him being held already captive. So and another one, Prophet Omar. It's not like he's a prophet with Dada and all that, but that's the nickname we call him, Brother Omar Okono. I saw him also being held, and another boy. So we became four of us. So they handcuffed me with the prophet, and they handcuffed my brother, Prince Okoro, with the other guy. So 4 of us, we are being marched throughout the village, and that day it was raining. So they were pouring muddy water on my head, slapping and just beating hell out of me. You can see my face. You can see they broke my face. They used a gun on my head. They were using a long stick. When I'll be going, they would just hit me like that. They say, oh, are you Ngozi? Oh, we've been looking for you. Now we got you. So that incident, I was praying. In the meantime, my big brother we were all just being beaten like common criminal. And with people jeering, and these people that were doing this were not from my village. They were the terrorist group that one guy is training. And they were with the cult boys. and with the other youth from Elu. So they all, ganged up. They now said to me, they drag us with the handcuff, and I was wondering how come the vigilante group is having handcuffs? We were literally handcuffed, and they told us, go and show us where the drum is. And I don't live in the village, I don't have a clue about the drum. But being that day, I already went to see, when I wanted to say, how does the thing look like? Where is it? Do you say it's not missing? Can I see it? So I told them, I might not quite know the house, but let's go. They drag us. So as we were about to get to the point, we saw the people coming out from that house with the drum that these women claimed was missing. So they came out with the drum. So I thought that would be the end of my ordeal, but that was the beginning. So they used the back of knife, my whole back, they used the knife, the machete, they were slapping me with it, and it was terrible. Broke my mouth, did terrible thing. You can see more of it on my Facebook, on my wall. Somebody, I will tell you about that, how that picture got there. So when they dragged us, so they were about to kill us. They were pushing us, beating, and I'll be walking. I thought, oh my God, is this over here? Then somebody would just come from nowhere, just using heavy stick on my head. And brother Omo Kono, they used cutlass and just cut up, open his head. And we were all praying. I was praying, I was like, God, when will this end? Until one man came with, the policeman came. He is a policeman, but he was a mufti. He had his family. They pushed me into his car and said, take her there. And then my brother Omo was put in the boot. The rest of them was stuffed in the boot, and they drove us to Elu.
It's my ribs here. Look at my ribs. I cannot breathe well anymore. They hit me heavily on my ribs. In fact, I'm having pains. As I'm touching it now, I'm having pains.
On my way to Elu, I was still calling on God, because this time I was bleeding. I was not myself, my head all over me. I was praying. And the guy in the car said, you better pray very well. So when we got to a junction, after Army Barrack, those of you listening, my listening audience, you can get to, if you are from Ohafia, after Army Barrack, you get to Ebem. As soon as we got to Ebem Park, the police became afraid. Come and see, I saw crowds of people. They are not from my village. They are from the Amebu, they are from Elu, they are from Ebem. I saw a crowd of people. And then they said, oh no, we cannot, the police said, I cannot, the guy said, I cannot go anymore. So they stopped an Okada. They stopped a man who would have taken us to a safer route to see the king. But now they say, no, he's not from this place, so he cannot take you. So now they brought their own Okada. What they call Okada is this machine, the bike. They brought their own bike. Their bike took me and one other guy with a gun. At this point, I now became a prisoner. So when he took me, the Okada ran into the crowd, and there they mobbed me, my brother and everything. They took everything I had on as a woman, the jewelries they took, and they were hitting me with all sorts of things. And they put me in a room. They were to put me in a room to kill me, because that name Ngozi was like, was like a name they didn't want to hear, a name they have been paid to kill. Two boys in particular were acting like they drank something that would help them to kill. And then this boy will come, they will hit my face all over me. They were using knives, they were using everything. And the boy literally came to cut off my head. Then they pushed me in a corner. So I was in that corner, getting ready, and I was bleeding. And they were saying, witch, show your face. You are a thief, show your face. They call me all sorts of names just to make sure that they get other people excited about me. So it was when I was pushed in that corner, I remember the scripture where God came in to identify with his people in the fiery furnace when they threw the 3 Hebrew boys. And that was the scripture I used to pray. I told my God, I said, God, identify yourself here, because they're about to kill me. And I could hear the whisper, how they were making arrangements, how to kill me, and it was getting dark, how to kill me and how to remove my body. So when I overheard that, I went and cried to God. And God sent 2 men who came, and one of them is still in the hospital right now, because that was the machete I would have gotten. They caught him. He used his life to put on the line for me. And then in the meantime, they brought a car. They said, okay, we will kill her and stuff her in this car, or take her to the Eze, and said she died during the rioting. And then when the car came, they broke the car. Something happened among them, because at this point I was still praying. I was still asking God to deliver me. So what happened was that they broke the car. The car couldn't move. Then all of a sudden, God answered my prayer. I saw a huge man. He came. He was barefooted. He came. He grabbed my hand and said, Eze want to see her. Don't kill her. Eze want to see her. One thing I have never done in my life is to walk barefooted. I'm always with shoe or slippers. But at this point, as I was going, they hit me. They took off my shoe. And they took off my shoe, and then they were pushing me to walk faster. I have never done that on the stone and the gravels and all that. So they dragged me. That was how I was beaten. And as I was going, I would think it's over. All of a sudden, somebody would just come and give me a slap. Somebody would just use a stick and hit me on the head. Somebody would just, all of that. And God did another miracle, which I must acknowledge him. I was wearing top, skirt, and blouse. And then they wanted to cheer me up so that they can put my video naked on internet. And I told my God, I said, this will never happen to me, because my body is your temple, and I've made my body your temple. I'm not a useless woman. So God, don't you ever allow them to tear my clothes. Do you understand me? If I can bring that wrap my clothes, they tried every means to tear this clothes. God did not allow my nakedness to be shown on internet. So they tried every means. They did not get that clothes. They couldn't. So finally, barefooted, I walked down to, they pushed me to a gate. And in that gate, finally, they were saying they don't kill people here. But they were still slapping. They were still, using machete to slap me and all that, until they pushed me into a room. And it was while in that room, for those of you watching me, you will see my picture on internet. That picture was taken while I was in that room. That room, they put a man with a gun at the door. And while the man was at the door, there come this guy, Ndubisi Anya. If he says he's not the one, he will tell the world who gave him my picture. And then Ndubisi Anya came into that room where I was, and then he was cursing me. He was placing a curse on me. He said, my generation, my life is finished, and my generation and the generations unborn are all cursed. And I was dumbfounded, because I'm trying to get back my life, trying to feel myself. Am I still here? And now here comes this guy. And then when he finished placing a curse on me, he took 4 shots, 4 pictures, 4 snaps of me. He took that picture and cursed me and went out. Because he was the only one, the only one allowed to come in where I was. So it was at this point that there was another arrangement, and the people around there, it was then the DPO came, and they told me that there's arrangement that I may not leave till tomorrow if I'm in this room. So army was called, and finally through the police and army, I was smuggled out while they were having their meeting on how to kill and all that. So I was smuggled out until I was smuggled out to this hiding place where I am right now, but my heart is sore bleeding. My heart is bleeding, because it wasn't my people. I love my people. It was people that were paid to do this dirty deal. The moment I got into that room, I knew that I've been saved. Because I was telling God, every one of us here, we are here for a purpose, on a mission, for a reason. Once you discover why you are still here, it makes sense for you to pray to be alive, to fulfill your mandate. I knew that I have a mandate, and my heart is filled with love, and I want to reach out to people. At the village square where they wanted to kill me, I was telling God, is my mission done now? If it is not done, you're going to save me. And finally, when I was in that room, I even started making plans or what next project to do to help my people. I am not bitter about it. I just knew, and thank God that I am a princess. That's one of the things that I have to go through to get people to come to, be who God had made them to be. So I knew while in that room that my mission is not yet finished. That was why I started planning on my next project, or Franklin Junior Foundation, the next thing we are going to do to help people. So I knew I was not finished. I'm still here. And if I can survive that I never fell down for 1 minute. They tried to get me down. As a woman, some of them were eager to make sure I'm on the ground. So God planted my feet so solid that I could not fall down. And my dress and my top was not torn. So I knew that He protected me to use me further. So I yielded myself while in that room. I said, God, whatever happens, that I am ready for it. I give credit. I don't know who that man is. I give credit to him because he literally used all that made him huge and a man like a giant. He used that to get me to safety. But I knew that I was still not safe. So what was going through my mind was that, no, before that time, even when they put me there, even when I crossed the gate, people were still hungry to still have beating of me. So when I was still going, I see sometimes they would throw stone, I still see stone on my head sometimes. And then when they dropped me in that gate, in that room, there were these women that have been in another man's village for 3 days looking for a drum that was not in the first place missing. But because they were paid, we now have found out how much they were paid to stage that. So these women were there. And I had another rumor that they were going to bring me out for these women to urinate on me. They said all these women will all urinate on me. And while I was in there, they used my name and they were singing about me, using my name as a curse word to sing a song. And then when I heard that they were going to bring me out from that room, and the women of Ameku and the women of Elu and few women from my community were going to go round, I will be in their middle and they'll be urinating on my head. I told my God, I said, this will never happen. That was one of the miracles, that they went into confusion. Some were saying, let's do it, and some were saying, we will not do it. Then there was another one that I saw, that God helped me also, was the name called Prince Mbodo. He is the one that arranged all these things. And it was happening, and he was so proud of it. Then I saw him coming, advancing to where I was. I didn't know what his intention was, because I knew him is an evil man that wants to usurp power that does not belong to him in the community. He wants at all costs to be the king of that village. So he was advancing, and I said a prayer. And I said, God, I know these people are ready to kill me. I do not want this man to come to this room where I am, because I didn't know what his intention was. But as God may have it, he now turned back. He turned, almost getting to the door, he turned back. That was when now he spoke to the Ndubisi, or Ndubisi Anya, that lives in Lagos. That was when he spoke to him, and then that one came now taking the pictures. So a lot of things was going on in that room while I was in that room, because he has louvers. And I saw them meetings, and they were trying to, but each time they met, God always put confusion in their midst. They never agreed, either on killing me, or on the women urinating on me, or allowing the person that paid these guys, somebody used Murdoch to pay them, and then allowing them to, kill me, or for him to come for me to see him. So God did a miraculous thing for me. Right now, I am not feeling okay. My problem is my parents. My parents are my problem, because the police could not make any arrests of all these things, because they all have been compromised. The police and the army post that is by my village. And now these court boys are now stationary in my village, and they are still bent on killing my parents. They are still bent on killing my father, the king. So my village is still in panic. And those people, those loyalists of my father, everybody is in hiding. In the night, there's a boy called Omakaloyo. He is the one, he's from the village, but he's a hoodlum. This guy now leads the strangers to everybody that he thinks he has to settle scores with. So my village, as I'm speaking, is in panic. My parents are I don't know what is going on with them. I don't know if they have gotten them. I don't know if they have killed them. I've not been able to get results back home because I don't know who to call. I myself am in hiding. I don't know what has happened to my parents. If you are listening, if you are watching, and if you know what has happened to my parents, kindly let me know, because I want to know what has happened to the king of Akano, Ezeogo Koroke Ole, and the wife, and other siblings that I left behind. So because of that, my heart is jittering. I've been struggling to eat. I've been struggling to sleep. First of all, I'm traumatized. And not just I'm traumatized. If I can just get anybody, give me a call and talk to me about the safety of my parents, then my heart will be quiet. Right now, my heart is jittering. I'm not yet okay until I get this call. I come from a very loving and peaceful community. Akano Hafia is one of the villages that you will long to be born into. And every Akano citizen desires to come home. But on 2014, we do our kingship, we do our rulers. It's naturally picked. Our forefathers arranged the village in such a way that naturally, if this king is living, who will be the next king naturally have already known, because it's through the elders in that royal family. In the royal family is the elders that will rule the community. So, but that elders, if he's too old, he will pick a regent, he will pick a young man who can run around, run errand for him. But the moment he dies, the regent ceases, the young man stops, everything stops, because the guy, the old man that he was running around for is gone. So now, my father, in 2014, while in the comfort of his home, saw some people coming in with the staff of office and all the regalia that a king will need. And then he asked, and they told him, oh, now you are our next king. And among them will be the regent. The regent is the one that was running around for the last old man that died. So he accompanied them to my father and said, you are now, Papa, you are now the king of the village. And my father, having refused on several occasions, now accepted and said, divinely, it is now God will want me to set some things right in the village. So he accepted the mandate. They asked him all the rights, and he performed everything. And this regent participated in all that was done as a right to become a king. Now, when he got home after every right has been done, he now sent some people, Ekoji, one of them, he sent some people to my father. And he said, please, can I continue to run errand for you as I did for the other man? My father said, no, I am still strong enough. I will do it. If I need you, I'll let you know. But for now, no. He sent another emissary to my father. Can I please run errand? My father still said, I told the first people no, and to you, no, too. So he came himself with a wine and a plate of meat, as they do traditionally. When you want to approach somebody, that's what you go with. So my father said to him, no, I have people from my own royal family. If I need help, they're going to help me. No. And then this was the beginning of the problem. So he now went, and there are some names, I wouldn't want to call them, but they know who they are, who has been funding this guy to make sure that he did not step down. And he did not step down. And because of the hardship in Nigeria, people are easily bought over with money. People don't have conscience anymore. So they've been using money to buy people's consciences, including the Council of Ndezogo in Ohafia, trying to get this man by force to take this kingship away from my father. And when my father, being an educated man, saw the way things were going, he decided to go to court. And he said to them, since you are perverting justice, because 2.5 million have been given to you, since you are perverting justice, because you've been feeding on this, so let me go to court. And as I'm speaking to you, the case is in court. And as the case is in court, that's how they've been spending money to allow a regent, an errand man, to become, to be installed as a king. While everything about the kingship is in my father's custody. So the case is in court right now. And I think that is where I have been. Like, if you go to Facebook, people have been saying all sorts of trash. They don't know me. My thing has been, this thing that has been in the hiding, let the world, let people know about it. Because a lot of people don't know what is going on. Is an issue of you have something and I want to get that thing from you and you say no, and then I must take it. Isn't that an armed robbery situation? That is a crime, and that is what is going on in my community right now. So they figure that being that I've been speaking out against this ill, against this injustice, and I still stand to speak against it. It is unspeakable. It is not good. So they now felt that we should eliminate her. And then my father being the king, if the king is killed and I am killed, nobody will know about it. Nobody will know what is going on in the village anymore. So that's what they have done. You see, I told you that there is hunger in Nigeria. When I said there is hunger in Nigeria, I think my village ranks the highest. I don't know of any other village, but my village ranks the highest, being that people are easily bought over. Even the guy that is spending money, there's a guy, he claims he is millions. And I can even say, it's this guy that wants to control the village. It's not even the one that he's put there, Prince Mbodo, Okereke, it's not the real person. There is somebody behind the mask. And this person behind the mask has been throwing money all over, buying people all over. But I still know that there are the sincere ones that still believe that the right thing should be done. Ancient landmarks should not be removed by anyone. So there are still ones that stands for that. But the other ones that money has silenced, I cannot really speak about them. But I know one thing, that whatever happens is what God desires that will happen in that village. So their reaction, the reaction I'm getting is that of fear. Because they brought in, even as I'm speaking to you, they brought in boys with guns, boys with cutlasses, all these cult boys and the terrorist activities that goes on in the campuses. He has his money, he pulled them out. So they are all right now in my village, intimidating. So I wouldn't know the thought of my village until everything settles down. Right now, everybody's in hiding. And the place again is Akan Mohafia in Abia State. There is what we call Ikpara Mongumu. Ikpara Mongumu is the Odauku Day, the royal family day they celebrate. So, and it is the king of the village, the king of the royal family that celebrates that. So during that celebration, the night before the celebration, I sent a text to the DPO and to the garrison commander, and I said to them, and to the chief of staff of the barracks, I said, my community will be celebrating today. Actually, my father will be celebrating. I am inviting you. Your presence will be highly welcome. Come and experience tradition in its fullness. I said the text was in the night. Then in the daytime, while the ceremony was going on, I spotted some people with gun and dagger. And I said, oh no, this does not look good because it's a crowd. I sent a text I was in a car watching it. I was not, because it's mostly, where I come from is a man's world. The women don't speak, they don't do anything, they only watch. But somehow, because of where I have been, sometimes I cannot sit still when I see something going on wrong. So I was in the car watching the ceremony, the procession, and I saw someone with gun, and I saw someone with dagger, and I sent the text to DPO. I said, DPO, kindly come quickly. Come and get this thing off these boys. The crowd is too much for such thing to be exposed for people to see. And then when I sent that text, I followed suit with a call. I made a call to the DPO, and the place was noisy. And he was saying, what are you saying? I'm not hearing you. I said, come right away. And I sent another text. He never came. He never came. And then when he did not come, the same dagger was used on one of my cousins. The dagger was used to stab him. And I had 3 people injured. I personally, with the car, I went back, took them to the police station. And I said, I was telling you guys, look at it, look at it. And they told me what to do, how much to pay. And I did all they asked me to pay. All I needed was that these boys would be apprehended and put in the cell at least for a little while. And they never came, they never did anything. And then the same day, the following day, the youths of my community went on to do a job, to do some cleanup in the community. And they said it, if you are not part of it, of us, we're going to get a fine from you. So why going to get a fine, like you did not go, okay, you give us five naira because you did not go. So why that? The same Prince Mbodo Kreke, you are hearing my voice now. He went and picked a boy. And then he picked that boy, and he put that boy, and he told the boy, come, and when these people get to your compound to demand the fine, kill as much as you can. That was the instruction. And then this boy used machete. Cut off 5 people. And those 5 people, one of them was so bad, he cut off the head and was about to cut off the neck. And then we also carried this youth, 5 people injured, to police station. And this was the same guy that used Naga the other previous day. So because he used Naga the previous day and nothing happened, now the next day he used cutlass and he cut people. And I followed with my money to make sure they are safe, to make sure they are fed. Some of them until we've not eaten all day. And I said, I understand. While bleeding, while that, we went to the hospital and I fed them. Police never made any arrests. And then the same boys were terrorizing. And the youth leader went to the police station and said, they are still terrorizing us. And he said, oh, we are going to send somebody. They never sent. Police never came in anything that we are doing. Army never came. They only come because there is money, a lot of money. I'm talking about millions. Somebody who can just put his hand in the pocket. The man I'm talking about, he knows himself. He puts his hand in his pocket. He can give 500,000. He can give any amount because he thought he has the money. So all these things, they never came. I never see police present. I went to AC office, area commander. Nothing was done. I went to commissioner of police in Umuahia. All I'm crying is that people's lives should be spared. The rate of intimidation is too high over here. So commissioner never did anything. They never did anything. So that is why they are saying I'm a bad woman, because I've been out trying to look for help so that my people will be helped. I think that's my divine calling. That's my job to do. So that's what I've been doing. So that's why I said the police have been compromised. Even in this incident, they were hiding me, but still they did not do no arrest. Nothing. Nobody questioned. Nobody asked. And now, why are the police there? Why are they there in Ohafia? When these hoodlums are still roaming the village, terrorizing the village, the police are still there, eating maybe the money, enough money that was given to them is still not yet over. That's why I said the police and the army have been compromised. When you go to army, but I still thank the army of Ohafia. They secured me when they were about to kill me. They put me overnight somewhere. I thank them for that. And then they told me that it's civil matter. They brought me back to the police station, and the police said, we can't keep you here. We are not safe too. So I don't know why all this security outfit is in Ohafia. I don't understand.
Yes. God punish you. God punish you. Yes.
Do you know that before this time, I'm coming in with 400 desktop computers and 26 laptops, and I have told my daughter that I'm coming with her so that we set this thing up and help our people. But as it is, personally, my daughter is not a princess because my husband is not a prince. So I cannot jeopardize the life of my daughter. But personally, on my own, by the way, I was trying to say, my daughter we're supposed to come with a team of youths from US, New York. We're supposed to come to help these children, educate them on the use of computer. I mean, 400 desktop computer. I'm building a place for it. We were supposed to install it, and then they will go about teaching the little ones and the our youths how to use these gadgets. So that was my former plan. But being that I am divinely called as a princess to help out, I think it's my calling. But I think I should be alive to also carry my duty. And I'm trying to make sure I will not stop my calling, but work carefully to carry it out. My brother is more than close. He has never slept, he has never eaten, he has never rested. His business, everything ground to a halt because he's always on the phone, he's always calling, he's always pleading, he's always trying to help, to see how much, all the money he's been sending, everything, even now, he's looking for my parents, he's using every, Franklin is more than close to the community. So even though he stays far away, but he's still very close to the community. So he still has his heart of gold on what to do to rehabilitate the people. If you come to my village, it's like a trash. These hoodlums, they killed so many goats because goats is a source of income for these people. They killed so many, they were just cutting off the head of the goats. They were just smashing the cars. My father's car was smashed, everything on their path. They were just smashing everything. They were just destroying houses. They were like, they didn't care for human life. They did not care. So Franklin has never eaten, he has never slept, nothing has been done. And we are crying, nobody is there to help us. There's no one to help us. Instead, they're all telling lies on Facebook. Instead, the people are all blaming us for doing what? I don't know what we did wrong. I do not understand it. I do not.
Yes. God punish you. God punish you. Idiot. Yes. God punish you. God punish you. Idiot.
I am also crying wherever they are. The one that they used us on, and my big brother, the prince, I am trying to get to see which hospital and how they are and where they are and what is going on, but I think they are alive.
Yes. God punish you.